Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Rudolph's Mountains. And we're back in a very cold Lake District. This time a little further south than last time out. It is about 20 minutes until sunrise and the views are opening up as we climb steeply up steep Sandal is the top we're looking to bag today, and it's another chilly winter walk with frozen ground, and so I've got my ice axe, crampons and micro spikes, which I always carry in winter. And to be fair, most of the time I don't need to use them. I use my micro spikes on my last walk. Today I can't even see any snow on the top of this one, so we might not need anything, but always best to be prepared. Thought I'd talk a little bit about what I wear in winter to make sure I stay warm. And today I've got a mesh base layer, which is designed for cycling really, I think. But I find it's really good at regulating your body temperature and letting the sweat evaporate rather than soaking into the clothes. Then I've got a long sleeve base layer over the top of that. I've got I think you call it a hybrid fleece with a bit of padding and a hood on top of that. Then I've got a down body warmer or gilet, if you're posh, on top of that. And then I've got my Berghaus hard shell over the top. I'm absolutely roasted. Last time out, I was warm, but only just okay really. I've got another 2 layers in my bag. I've got another fleece. And I got another down jacket in case it gets cold, in case it gets cold. It's already -6, but there's no wind today so far. It is a northerly, so we're in the lee of the mountain here, so it might be windier on top. But as a result, I'm flipping roasting. As to my bottom half, I've got a pair of fleece-lined trousers. I'm going to say leggings, not leggings, fleece-lined trousers. I've got a few pairs of these which I've bought over the years. Pretty much my entire wardrobe is bought from Amazon, certainly online. Sometimes from Regatta or Mountain Warehouse. Don't really go for the big branded stuff, with the possible exception of my jacket, if you call Berghaus a big brand. The one layer I thought you can't compromise on. Holy mackerel. It is now officially sunrise time, and it must be happening just behind that hill over there. But the skies around me are beautiful oranges and pinks. Wow, I love coming out for a sunrise, and that's one of the best things about the winter. Is this morning I set my alarm for a very easy going 6:15, and I was out for 7:15. Give me an hour and a quarter to get up the hill before the sun came up, and you get to experience the magic of a sunrise in the mountains. I love it, but we are past the winter solstice, and so every day that goes by until June, I've got to get up a little bit earlier. This little friend over there, hello. So I makes a change on the last walk. I didn't see a single living thing except other hikers. No birds, no sheep, nothing. I suppose hikers were the only people daft enough to go out in those freezing conditions. Anyway, we're making good progress. Won't be long before we are approaching the summit. Wow, the view's opened up and it's absolutely gorgeous. Wow, that's down towards Helvellyn. I think that furthest one glistening in the snow might be Dollywagon Pike. If that's wrong, I'll pop up on the screen what it actually is. But our summit that we're heading to, Sandal, is just over there. Ooh. And it's very cold, but the wind is, at the moment, I suspect, within daisy range. Let's have a look when we get to the top, see whether it is safe to get her up. We shall see. Welcome to the top of Sandal. Beautiful. Right, let's find somewhere at the wind to sit and have a cup of tea. Goodbye to seat Sandal. You know, the route we're going to take now takes us off the back and down towards Grisdale Tarn. Wow, it's pretty cold coming off there. Would have been probably beneficial to have the spikes on overall, but I've managed to work my way down so far without any problems. There's Grisdale Tarn behind me. Beautiful. Over the Christmas period, just after Christmas, is Caroline's birthday, my wife. She was 50, it was a big one for her, so happy birthday, darling. Hope you enjoyed your day. Sort of summed up really by a message that she received from my brother wishing her a happy birthday, and the reply was something along the lines of, it's extra special because I didn't really expect to see this one. And so I suppose that's the message. Your loved ones are precious, and so enjoy every minute with them that you can. Right, this doesn't look too bad. I think what I might do is, if it's quiet, I'll go down to the tarn itself. Otherwise, we do a right turn down at the, I was going to say down at the Bwill. What's it called in the lakes? Is it a saddle? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to turn right at the saddle, and then it brings us back a different route to where we started. Wow, it's absolutely stunning here. Have a look at this. It was quite steep coming off there, and instead of turning right at the bottom there, I've just wandered down this path towards Grisdale Tarn. Let's try and find a spot to sit and have a cup of tea before we head back. Beautiful here. I never actually planned on being here today. I had every intention of going over to the Pennines and picking up Merton Fell, which is next to the Warcop firing range, maybe Backstone Edge, and picking up High Cup Nick. It was looked like a nice route, but dear me, the Highways Agency in wisdom have closed a large section of the M6 between Penrith and then down to Shap, and they've diverted the northbound traffic up the A6 through Shap, and the southbound traffic down the A66 past Appleby, and they've closed all little side roads, stopped people cutting the corner, and it's just chaos over there, absolute chaos. I was watching the traffic last night, looking for a way to get over there, and it was just solid, just gridlocked. And so plan B, I've come here instead, and no regrets. Absolutely beautiful day. Right, let's get back to the saddle. That there is the path that we've just come down from Seat Sandal. It was steep, but it was okay. Interestingly, the scree, most of it was sort of frozen in place, so it was less slippy than usual, which is bizarre. Anyway, look, let's see what this route has got to offer on the way back. If I bring up a map, I can show you the proposed way down. And it does look like it's going to be mostly in the shade, so maybe not as warm, relatively speaking, compared to now. Got me thinking earlier on when I was talking about my winter kit and what I was wearing to keep warm, and I thought what I might do is start putting some details of what I used in my mountain adventures in the description. I'm not really too interested in talking about equipment and stuff. There's plenty of other people who will do that a lot better than I could. But there will be some people that are interested to know with what I use. So starting with this one, I'm going to start building up that equipment list in the description. So if you're interested, check it out down below. And if you got any questions, stick them in the comments. We are in the Lake District, and so it's getting busy. I've seen dozens of people already today, which is great because people are out enjoying the hills too, which is what they're all about. But it has to be said, I quite like having them to myself when possible. This time of year, because I'm out at a sensible time, there's more people out as well. So yeah, all good. So I'm going to push on, and I will video what I can in between the groups of people that I meet. Wow, that has been a wonderful walk out. Absolutely beautiful. And there's still a fair way to go. A lovely route, all in all. Wow, you can see the route up I took this morning, 10 yards. We started off down there and we followed those fields and those walls up that ridge on the skyline there, all the way over to the top, back down to the saddle, back down this beautiful valley. What a stunning route. What a stunning place. Oh dear, I love the lakes. It is very busy, I've said that many times, but not too busy. I've always managed to find enough time to do some filming, which is what I come out for. So yeah, it's all good. Got a junction in the path, so I better check my route, make sure I go the right way. Right, I'm about to join the path that I turned off this morning, and so we'll be repeating our steps from then onwards. So there's not much else to show you today. Wow, only a short day really, just the one top. So my attitude towards Nuttall bagging has started to shift slightly. I always tried to bag as many tops as I could in a day. Oh dear, and there's more people coming. I'm going to give this up. I shall pick you up back in the van a bit later. Oh right, I'm back in stand the van. Holy cheese. Oh, excuse my breath. It's 2.9 degrees in the van at the moment. And so I'll get the heating on. I've got the kettle on, got my priorities straight. Kettle's on, I'll put the heating on in a minute. We'll start defrosting before we head on back down the road, back to Liverpool. Yeah, as I tried to say on 2 separate occasions before I was rudely interrupted, my plans initially when doing Nuttalls was always to do as many as possible each time I went out, to try and reduce the number of trips. But the more I'm getting through them, the more I don't really want to finish them. It's given me a real purpose in life, and yeah, every weekend with a good forecast and planning and off on adventures, and yeah, I wonder what comes after. Hopefully I'll live long enough and be healthy enough to find out. We shall see, because there's still a couple of years at the least of bagging Nuttalls still to do. But I am more mindful now of maybe not trying to cram as many into each day as possible, and to actually take my time a bit more and just enjoy being in the mountains while I can. It's absolutely brilliant. Anyway, enough of that for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I shall see you on the next one, all being well.